So that brings me to the point that each day I'm learning from this cannabis and hemp community. And one of the things that legislators said is that we need a place to organize. I know that earlier you were mentioning how cannabis has lobbying dollars and money and they're organizing. Well, it's very apparent, and they're really honest, is that, you know, we need to organize in an effort to get change and push forward change. And so in the course of doing so, we've put together a bit of a networking group where we're all leaning on each other. And during this process, I've found out about a new type of hemp that I never thought of before, ornamental hemp. So now we're talking about grain, fiber, cannabinoid hemp. There's now ornamental hemp. So things are surfacing all the time, and how we treat different types of the plant or how we categorize the plant. So in an effort to organize and move forward with new types of hemp, triploids, different types of plants that are going to come to light, what if there is some sort of a emergence and there is the possibility for industrial hemp to be, we say tri-crop, but there is the opportunity for potentially genetically modified plants down the road where you may have cannabinoid hemp with a fiber plant or a grain plant. I don't know. So maybe some of the cool concepts and things that have come your way, come across your desks, and how this might affect your business plan or something along those lines. Keith, have you heard about some of these newer ones that are coming into play, and what would happen if there were tri-crops, how this would affect your business model?
I right now source. I'm not growing, so I source from others, and with the oils and things. So I would just keep on going to where I know I can get the most quality products.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about you, Cody?
Yeah, I think to your point, I think the plant has been evolving with us. I mean, since like the dawn of agrarian society. So I think it's bound to happen that it continues to evolve to fit our needs in whatever way. So I think it's going to be super beneficial for hemp farmers to have a plant that they can have multiple revenue streams off of. Right now, it's definitely hard because from my experience with growing the industrial side, if it starts putting energy into the grain, if it starts flowering, then the fibers have less energy and it's less of a quality yield there. And then even in your ratios of fiber to herd, the bast fiber, if you're producing a more short fiber herd-based plant, then you're going to have less long strand fibers. But I do think as we keep growing it, it's definitely going to become more. We're going to find out there's genetics we can get 3 different harvests off of, and also the way that we use it in the end products is going to be evolving as well, so that no matter what the plant looks like, we can harvest it differently, or we can manufacture it differently to create these different end products. So at the end of the day, especially on the industrial side, we're just farming cellulose, which is the building block chain of everything that we use. Like the petroleum is what is our form of cellulose right now. But yeah, I definitely think that as the plant evolves, we're going to find a lot more utility in it, and it's going to be great.
And a lot more plants too. Yeah, there's a lot of different aspects of plants are coming into view to help heal this world. It really is. Cannabis is one of them. Like I learned not too long ago was that the actual terpenes and flavonoids, when you grow the plant, actually helps the atmosphere block certain UVB and UVA rays. So it actually helps the world, and it's amazing. You know what? The same thing that does the entourage effect for us does the entourage effect for our planet.
Wow. Thanks for that. Yeah. Jarrett, how about genetic innovation and kind of the different varieties of hemp? How is Kifcure approaching the topic of tri-crops and genetically modified genetics, and just kind of the forward momentum of the industry and how we're going to navigate the changing landscape?
Well, yeah, we've been paying a lot of attention to different genetics. I mean, we've participated in the Midwest Hemp Database Collaborative for the last 5-6 years, as long as it's been around, grown and helped certify these different strains. And where I see things going, like you mentioned, if in, taking the GMO side of things, which, there's a big debate over that, whether, and not just hemp, but overall, overall crop of, how we should view that, how we should regulate that and all that. But taking that aside of it and just focusing on the science side of it, I believe that being able to get more out of your crop is the only way that we're going to get tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of acres grown again in the United States, because let's all remember, we grew 550,000 acres. Not that it was all harvested, but we grew 550,000 acres of primarily only one use hemp. That was cannabinoid hemp in 2019. Why did most people not grow again? Because they didn't make any money off of it. So let's just be honest. They grew it, they didn't have a place to take it, and it's still, in some cases, still sitting in barns getting moldy. So how do we get growers, producers out there to give this plant a second chance? And the way that we do that is by showing them the money, like, like is it with any industry? Is this, if you make some profits, and the way that you do that is either dual cropping it, like with the fiber and grain variety, growing a really good fiber crop, and maybe do 2 turns, so you get double or close to double your what you would normally get off of a single crop, or having some CBD in a dual crop. So, which some of these varieties do have. You can get, we've examined some of these varieties that do have CBD in them. Granted, small amounts, 2, 3, 4%, whatever, which you can still monetize, but at scale. And with grain, you're not going to get as much of a fiber yield, but there's still yield there. So you can really develop 3 markets, get 3 different customers, 3 different types of buyers out of that one single crop. And I do believe that that's probably the way that industry will go, obviously taking outside of the things related to GMOs. But
yeah, and I think, like, to your point, like, really, well, that's what my focus has been this year, is creating the demand, being able to show farmers the money. So like, I started out on the farm with a goal to produce affordable and sustainable housing, and I realized there's not a lot of farmers growing. And there's not a lot of farmers growing because there's no processors to take it. And there's no processors to take it because there's no end use products that are making money. So this year I've really been focused on creating that demand, and then not only just selectively breeding or finding out what genetics I want, but also finding new ways to create end use products. So like, I've been doing hempcrete for 2.5 years, but developing another building material, I'm starting to do research and development on some stuff like that, and something that's more integratable to the conventional building system, creating more demand, pulling more herd. So like, I think that's definitely a key in order to get the industry going, is modifying not only the stuff that we're growing, but the end use products and how we manufacture it. I think it's super important.